Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Electric Church Podcast. My name is Craig. I'm the founder and host of the Electric Church Podcast. And on this episode, I am joined by Colton, who is the owner of Woods to Water Realty in Nisswa, Minnesota. I met Colton. We worked together at the Preserve for Grandview Lodge there in Nisswa. It's actually closer to Pequot, but Grandview itself is in Nisswa. Anyways, that doesn't really matter. We worked together. I guess I must have been about 29. So, I guess about 10 years ago we worked together. I think he was the bar manager, and I worked in the kitchen there at the Preserve. He got me to go golfing once, and I didn't think much of it. I would rather go fishing. But anyways, we don't discuss golf or fishing. We basically discuss real estate, his journey into how he got into real estate out of college. And, just sort of talked about his business and how he got started and what he does and all that good stuff. So I was glad to have Colton on. I like having in small business owners to talk about their businesses. So if there's any business owners out there that are interested in coming in and talking about how they got started and talking about their business, I would love to have you. You can go ahead and contact me on Facebook. Just search Electric Church Podcast and you'll find us. So thank you all for listening. Please like and share this episode if you enjoy it. And you can also find us on Facebook and give us a like there. We got some groups where you can chat about stuff if you'd like. All right, without further ado, here is Electric Church Podcast with Colton.
So how much editing do you do, or is it just like
none?
Pretty much.
Really,
okay.
I just pop in jingles, but
okay,
that's about it.
I'll try to
No,
stay on track and not screw up.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for joining us here at the Chameleon Cafe. Joining me today is Colton. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Colton Maher, Woods to Water Real Estate. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So you understand we're recording this conversation and give me permission to put it online and wherever I see fit.
I do, yep.
All right, perfect. So why don't you go ahead and just start us on your little journey of how you got into real estate and ended up opening up your own business.
Sure. So after a long journey through college and not when I got to the finish line, not really loving the direction that college was going to take me.
Where were you going?
I was at Morehead State. So I started at Concordia College in Morehead, and then after 2 years there, transferred to Morehead State and was in an athletic training program. And not that real estate's not a grind, but athletic training was, get there an hour before the team does for 5 a.m. practice. So you're there at 4 a.m. And after treatments and the second practice of the day is done, it's, 10 o'clock at night, and I haven't been home yet. So, realized, unfortunately, after 6 years of college that wasn't what I wanted to do. And, just started to look for other opportunities, and real estate was kind of a calling. First, I had never really felt like I had a calling, but every time I was thinking, what do I want to do in life? All the signs were pointing at real estate. So here we are.
Did you have like family in real estate, or what were the signs?
No. Just kind of real estate, if you ask any real estate agent, they're going to tell you how much work it is, and you're always running and gunning and trying to be at a million places at once. But I think it also gives you that opportunity to be flexible with your schedule and to be with family when the time comes. If there's a kid's sporting event or you got to go to a doctor appointment, you don't really have to ask anybody. You just set your schedule and you go.
Yeah.
So real estate was just always that thing that, for some reason, I just kept circling back to, because I knew that I could help people. I knew that I could be influential in people's goals and successes in life while still, just having time to go home at night and do what I wanted to do.
Sure.
Or take off in the middle of the day and go fishing or hit the golf course or whatever it was. So.
Yeah. So you're at Morehead, and were you almost done with your program there?
It was probably the start of my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely the start of my senior year, because we had to go back 2 weeks early because I was assigned to the football team. So we got there 2 weeks early. I say early, being 2 weeks before even football started, because we had to be there to get all the equipment ready and make sure the guys were, had their all their training and all their physicals and everything in line before practice even started. So that just kind of goes back to the fact that we're always ahead of them, and another part of why it was such a grind. But that was really when I was just like, this is too much. This is, that 14-hour days every single day.
Yeah.
And we started looking around at other athletic trainers and what they were doing who weren't in school, who, had their careers, and they were still doing the same thing, even though they were 15, 20 years in. And it just, I knew it was a path for a potential disaster in the future. So got off that track as fast as we could.
Sure. But that would then be like highly seasonal work too, though, wouldn't it? I mean,
yes and no, because you're oftentimes going to be left with, sure, I was assigned to the football team, but as soon as football is over, what am I going to do? You still got to work, unless we get on a professional level. But that was another turning point. We had not that it's all about money, but one of the classmates that I had got offered a job with a professional team, a Minnesota professional team, and he was going to be the number 2 or number 3 in the pecking order on the athletic trainers that they had there, and they offered him a full-time job, number 3 in command. He was going to make $35,000 a year, and it was just like. That was the gut break, the gut wrenching. Like, oh my gosh, how do you live? How do you pay your student loans on $35,000 a year? Let alone
how do you afford anything in the cities at that rate? Oh my God.
Yeah. So that was the final straw, and just like, this clearly is not for me. So I crawled my way through the last semester and a half of college. I was a fine student, so it wasn't like it was difficult. It was just showing up to practice every day when I didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I actually found a job and helped some now good friends, help them start a furniture store in Fargo while I was still up there. And that was really my first sales job.
Okay.
I kind of fell into it. I mean, bartending and working in restaurants my whole life. I'm good at talking to people, so I never really looked at sales as sales. I'm not a salesman that just stands there and talks your ear off about the product and tries to force it down your throat. That furniture thing was just fun because it was a new business. We picked out product. We found what the local market wanted and adapted to that. So that was really my first time of like seeing how a business starts and how it runs and why it matters to pay attention to the little things. And that just kind of springboarded me to where I am today.
Okay. So you're working in you're selling furniture for the first time, and you're almost done with college. You don't want to do athletic training.
Yep.
And all the signs are pointing towards real estate.
They're starting to.
So what's the path to becoming a real estate agent? Like, I know you need like a license, but I don't understand, like, is there college courses for it, or like how do you become a real estate agent?
There would have been some fantastic college courses, and my path would have
been a little easier,
a lot shorter, a lot less expensive than 6 years in college. But all it takes from the moment you decide, I shouldn't say all it takes, it's very easy if you want it to be easy.
Okay.
So it's just a state license. It's 3 weeks of courses.
Oh, okay.
A state test, a national test. If you pass,
okay,
you're
so
good to go.
Kind of like becoming a chef in that way. Like you need a license from a state. You need a what they call a food manager's license. And so you go and you take this serve safe test, and you either pass or fail. And you pass, you get your license.
You fail, you take it again.
You
Tomorrow,
fail, you take it again. Yeah. I guess But that's what you legally need to run a restaurant. But that doesn't.
And I'm sure you know that there are plenty of people that pass that test that you don't want to pass that test.
There's definitely people that have that license who I would not eat out of their kitchen just because I know they can mark that box, but they don't clean the kitchen the way that they know they legally should.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
I've worked at probably over 20 kitchens in the Brainerd Lakes area over the last 20 years. And there's definitely some kitchens that I worked at one day and I left and I won't eat there. And I won't name any of those
Yeah,
places, but
right,
there's definitely
right.
places where it's just like the sanitation is so bad. Like, how are you not making people sick all the time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I, just like in real estate, I appreciate there are people who look at things the way I do, and approach a business the way I do. Hearing that you have that approach to kitchens makes me happy.
Yeah. I'll tell you when we're done recording some of those places if you want to
No, I'd love
want
to
a
know.
heads up
I
of
would
where
love
not to
know.
eat.
It
Yeah.
just, it makes me sleep better at night knowing that some people are out there, calling those people out for.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to like, like talk shit about the competition, So yeah, and I mean, again, like, maybe some of those places are over 10 years ago that I worked at.
Yeah.
Yep. So who knows what their sanitation's like now, but yeah.
Yeah.
when you walk into a place and you know that you are working there one day. Yeah. Anyways,
It's better to figure it out on the first day than after a year and be like, wow, I'm really tying my name to this thing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But anyways, so you need to get your test. You need to pass your test.
So we kind of digress there from my story and how it all unfolded. But so I left college, left the furniture store, time to move to Minneapolis because my then fiance was down there.
Mm-hmm.
She had a job, had an apartment. It was just kind of a no-brainer because I didn't know what the hell I was going to do in life. So I'll come, stay with you and figure it out.
Yeah.
Started bartending again and paying the bills as much as you could, and just looking for that opportunity, and started asking around and looking for a real estate office. While I was taking these courses, so you can take them online or you can take them in person. I chose the online route so I could work on them during the day, but have the flexibility to go find a job interview or if
same reason you wanted to get into real estate. Yeah, flexibility of it, sure.
Turns out that was a terrible idea. Just trying to motivate myself to watch 30 hours of video in a week is just it was a little much, but we made it through. I got pointed in the direction of Downtown Resource Group, which was the real estate brokerage that I worked with in Minneapolis. I met with an agent of theirs. Just went out for coffee. She was referred to me by just a friend and said, this woman's awesome. She's a good agent, but just a better person, and she'll give you honest advice. Is this for you? Is this the right thing? And just kind of vetting me and if I could make it. And she looked me dead in the eye and told me that at the end of the conversation, she'd say, do it or don't. And it wasn't like, hey, come work with me. It was, go find a job somewhere in this business or don't.
Sure.
So I met with her, loved her. I still talk to her probably weekly, but loved what she said about the company. So I said, well, we'll keep looking at this. So as I'm taking those online courses, I went and knocked on the door of this Downtown Resource Group, or DRG is what most people know it as. Talked to the broker on like my third attempt, maybe fourth attempt, of just saying, hey, is this guy around? Can he come out and chat with me for a little bit? And didn't have the time. At that point, I was like a solicitor, right? Like,
yeah.
Nobody really cared to talk to me.
For sure.
Fired off an email and just said, hey, I keep stopping by. You're always busy. Give me 15 minutes of your time. You pick the time and I'll be there.
Yep.
So that was, a couple days later was interview number one. Met with him 6 or 7 times before they said, you're in. I'll never forget the day that they offered the job. I walked into the conference room or meeting room, and there's this guy that I hadn't met yet, and he's like, I don't know, 6'5", 6'6", big, sweaty Cuban guy, just staring me dead in the eye in like the nicest suit I've ever seen, and he's wiping his forehead with a towel and just staring at me intensely, and he never said a word for the first like half hour of this last interview, and then he just started. Apparently it was like his training, but it felt like I was just getting grilled, and then all of a sudden I caught on that it was training, and that was the point where they're like, you're going to do this, and here's how. And they kind of took me under their wing, and I was there for 6 years, started in the back room getting yelled at by this big sweaty Cuban guy. And turns out, and I had no idea at the time, but travels around the world and teaches big corporate sales conferences, and gets contracted out by big corporate sales companies to teach their crews. So, it was a cool experience. I felt really good walking into it. Like I did find something, and flash forward to today, and we're going strong.
Yeah. So it was very
Year
much
7,
like
year
an
8.
apprenticeship.
Yeah, it didn't intend to be.
So-
Everyone in this business kind of has assistants, and they all just kind of. It's the natural flow of things, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like working in the kitchen. You're going to start at the
Yeah,
dish
yeah.
bin and make
Right.
your way to head chef.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So you're just kind of like assisting with paperwork and
I was a dialer, so I spent my days on the phone. I had a goal of calling 100 people a day. I'd usually talk to about 20 of them. I say talk, probably 15 of those 20 hung up on me instantly. But no, it was a very good learning opportunity. I learned how to talk to people. I mean, I have conversations with people face to face all the time, and I'm a natural at it, and I could talk your ear off.
So-
but talking over the phone was a different story, and that was a good opportunity for me to learn.
What were you calling to like try to solicit?
Yes, not really solicit. These are people. The day I started on the phone, I got a list of 12,000 people, and that was 12,000 people who inquired about buying or selling real estate in downtown Minneapolis,
Okay.
or maybe renting. But those were it wasn't that I was just looking through the phone book and hammering every name in there.
Yep.
So it was actual people who at one time,
Yep.
most of them weren't anymore, but at one time they were interested.
Sure.
So I was just following up. And
Yep.
it was kind of an easy, natural conversation to the people who were nice enough to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a conversation. But yeah, so my whole goal was just dwindling that list of 12,000 people down. If
Yeah.
they're still interested, I put them in touch with one of my agents. If they're not interested, send them in the direction of somebody who can help them in a different walk of life.
Yeah. Somebody's looking for a rental or something else.
Yep.
Okay.
So after about 5 months of dialing, that 12,000 list of 12,000 was down to about 200 people, and then I became an agent, or so to speak. I had become an agent prior to that, but yeah, started going showings.
Sure.
and
You
all
had
that.
you had your license, but that's where you started in the
Correct.
business. Okay.
Yep, correct.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, but it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
And Minneapolis was kind of a grind, like anybody says. It just, the hustle and bustle was fun when it was just my wife and I. We lived downtown. We had a loft. We walked everywhere. We went. We never cooked. We just went to dinner every night, every morning, every afternoon, and every night. So that was expensive, but no, that was the best part of Minneapolis. It was just we could walk everywhere. We could eat all this awesome food.
Yeah.
If there's a sporting event or a show or whatever it was, we could
Yeah.
walk to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we loved it. We loved
Yeah.
it. But then kids came, and we knew we wanted to start a family, so went and got a house in Golden Valley, renovated it top to bottom, gutted a house and renovated that house, and then wasn't more than a year, 14 months after we did that it was just, we were spending 4 days a week up north and
Yeah.
3 days a week down there actually working. So
Yeah.
it was kind of the natural flow of things to
Sure.
end up here.
Sure. So yeah, and your family's originally from up here, right?
I've got my folks and my wife's folks are here. Went to
Okay.
high school with my wife.
So, yeah.
Went to kindergarten with her. So yeah, we're
Yeah, especially with kids, then you want to
Yep,
move
wanna-
up to be closer to the grandparents.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And this is just, it was always our plan to get back up here. We always said,
Yeah.
it's the 10-year, it's the 5-year plan.
Yep.
And then there was just that time where, by the time, I should back up. When we left Minneapolis, I had a team. There was 3 of us on this team, 3 agents, and then we had admin and staff and all that fun stuff. And it was just, it got to the point where it was time to break off. Everybody on the team agreed and said, let's all go off and do our own thing and push ourselves a little harder. And this was me pushing myself. It was moving and opening my own company and starting from square one in a new place. So,
Yep.
yeah.
So what year did you open? Is it Woods to Waters, right?
Yes, Woods to Water Real Estate. We opened end of 2018. I guess officially it was my 30th birthday of September 1st of 2018. And then we opened our office November 22nd or 23rd
Okay.
that fall. That was the Nisswa lighting.
Yeah.
That was our grand opening was November of 18. So
Very cool.
yeah, so
yeah.
we're a year and a half into having the office. year and a half into the brokerage, and things could always be better, but I'm very happy with the traction and people's recognition of who we are, not in the sense that we're a real estate company, but why we're different than the other guys. It's just been fun to tell that story and to show it through our actions and our marketing and our branding versus, hey, just come and call me when you want to buy a house or sell a house.
Right.
Very involved in the community, and that's just been, it's been awesome, not only to be there, to be at those events or to play a role in it, but for people to realize that we're doing it. It's been fun.
Sure. So you, I guess kind of the way to make it sort of big, I guess, or what you would say in the real estate agency, in real estate, is to like have some sort of specialty, right? Is that sort of what you're talking about?
Yeah. Nobody's good at everything.
Yeah.
There's steak restaurants that you go to for a steak dinner, and
Yeah.
you're probably not going to want to get the seafood at a steakhouse.
Right. Yeah.
That being said, you also want to differentiate yourself from everybody else. How many steakhouses are there in the world?
Yeah.
And how can you do it different? Our opportunity to be different is, again, the community focus and just the lifestyle of what it means to live up here. I think a lot of people lose focus of why they live here, what's important to them. So that's one thing that we've kind of stood behind, is just showing people why we live here.
Yeah.
But the differentiation piece from what we offer people is, yes, we're a buy-sell brokerage, and we can help you, do investment properties, and we can take you on the path to reach your goals, whatever they may be. But we have a vacation rental aspect of our business, which is a local hot topic right now with the county and city boards. Some people don't like them, so that's all. We could do 2 more podcasts on that and why it's a bad thing for counties and cities to say no to them. But
I think it's pretty much a bad thing for cities and counties to say no to just about any business.
Exactly.
I mean,
But
unless it's like actually directly somehow having a negative impact on your community.
Yep.
I mean, that's money, that's taxes, that's people coming in and spending money at other businesses.
Yep. So it's mind blowing how much pushback.
And so you're talking about like sort of an Airbnb sort of
VRBO. Yep. The people who want to come up for the weekend, they want to.
Yeah, or even
get
a week.
House, or a week, or a month. There's a lot of people who will rent out a house for a month.
Yeah.
No, a month long,
and
a
30-day.
day.
And not have to go to Grandview or Breezy Point and spend $800 to $1,500 a night for
I don't even
cabin.
think it's the money. It's just the experience that people want. Some people want to feel like it's their cabin.
And have that privacy.
It's their lake. They're out there by themselves. They don't have the restaurants that they walk up the hill and go to. They have to drive and get out and see the scenes.
Yep.
There's so much that happens with vacation rentals that cities and counties could be making money on, but it's not even the cities and counties making money on that direct rental. It's all of the other people that are affected. I mean, anybody who takes care of our vacation rentals, from the cleaner to the lawn guy to the dock guy to the guy who has to spray for bugs. I mean, it is a full-on business.
The bait shop, the restaurants.
Exactly. Yeah. There are hundreds and hundreds of local businesses that each one of those vacation rentals improves their business.
Yep.
Just having one guest come and stay.
Sure. Yeah.
But right now they're getting stifled at a local and municipality level, and
that's unfortunate.
We'll see where it goes. But
you're dealing with that right now in Nisswa?
Yeah. All of it. Really, we're through the city phases of all the cities saying we're going to set these stringent ground rules, and you can only rent it 3 or 4 times in a year, and everybody says, "Well, I'm sorry, but I'm going to rent it 5.
Yeah.
Or who's going to stop me?" And all the cities knew that was going to happen. So then the counties get involved, and the counties say, "Well, we're going to tax you as a commercial business." So now your taxes are going to triple on your cabin.
Yeah.
So not that the $5,000 isn't enough. Now it's going to be $15,000 a year for your lake house. So that's been a deterrent for people.
Yeah. And they can do that without rezoning it?
They'd pretty much be forcing your hand and saying you have to rezone it.
Sure.
So how they're going to track it, how they're going to work that out, I don't know. For me, if I was buying a house as a investment property to rent out, bring on the taxes.
Bring
Bring on the write-offs. I'll take them.
Sure.
I'll take them all.
I mean, you just pass that expense off anyways.
Yep.
Like, well, okay, if my taxes just went up by $10,000, I just figure that into my rental cost.
Yep.
I mean,
or the cities or county could just say, hey, we're going to charge you a resort fee, a resort tax, just like Grandview has to pay out.
Yeah.
And they pass that on to their guests.
Yeah,
right?
or a license that, is based off the size of the property or whatever.
Exactly. You're going to get a rental license at the beginning of the year. We're going to charge you for inspections. We're going to charge you sales tax. We're going to charge you a resort tax.
Go for it.
Do all of that because I'm going to tell the renter they got to pay it.
Yeah.
It's funny the way people are looking at it, but what it boils down to is you're getting pissed off neighbors because somebody's throwing a party. Which I get. Which is why I think us offering this service of vacation rentals and managing those vacation rentals takes away that risk because that's on me. It's not you as the homeowner that's going to get the angry phone call. It's me. My license is on the line. My reputation is on the line. So we're not going to put the partiers in there. We're not going to have bachelor parties or bachelorette parties or bunch of college kids.
Well, I guess I can see sort of that sort of not in my backyard. Like, man, I spend all this money for this lake cabin, and then I suppose the idea of it's going to lower my property value or whatever that this person's.
Yeah, which is funny because it actually increases your property
I
value.
would imagine. I mean, like you said, like you as a business owner, you that's your investment. It's not like you're just gonna, nobody's out there renting. No car rental agency is renting Cadillacs to 12-year-olds. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's a very good point.
Yeah. I mean, you 20 guys want to rent your place for the weekend. It's a big old no for sure. I get it.
Yeah. So there's. It is a huge opportunity for everyone to take advantage of this vacation rental thing and have a third party like us manage it. Whether we get the business or not, I'd love for the cities and counties to say, we're going to tax it, here's what we're going to do, but also say you have to hire a management company.
Sure.
Because then that risk is there, and we're local. Your homeowner is probably in California or Minneapolis at least.
Sure.
They're not here. They're not going to be able to do anything even if there is a problem. So we're the guys that you call if something happens at the house, physically, or if there's a party and we got to go break it up. If we got to call the cops, we'll call the cops. Whatever it is.
Yep.
Just having a third party involved, it makes it easier for everybody, and even the neighbors are a little happier with it.
Sure. Yeah.
If you're going to run a business, you're at least doing it right and having somebody be responsible for the property. So, we'll see where that goes. But it's a value to the clientele that we do have. We help people, again, buy and sell traditionally. I want to move from this side of town to that side of town, or I want to buy my first home, or whatever it is.
Yep.
But also investors that say, I want to buy 2 properties this year, and we want to put renters in them.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Here's what the numbers look like. We help you navigate what your goal of investing in a property is and what kind of return you want, or if you're just parking some cash and you just, don't really care.
Yeah.
You want a 12-month lease, or you want this vacation rental option, whatever it is. There's a lot. Real estate has hundreds of different ways that you can,
sure,
classify as real estate. But we definitely don't offer all 100. But we just have a few different unique opportunities to help people in ways other than just let's go buy your first home or.
Yeah, for sure. So, we'll be sure to include a link to your website or whatever.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, so you got rental properties, or you offer management services if people want to have properties as rentals.
Yep.
And of course, classic buy, sell.
Yep.
What else you do?
That's really it.
That's it?
Yeah, that's kind of the nuts and bolts of it. So we just advertise it as a buy, sell, vacation rental, and property management.
Okay.
Are the 4 main categories. What either of those or any of those categories mean to you? That's where we say we can do that, or we're probably not the best fit. Like commercial real estate, for instance.
Sure. Just not your bag.
No, I mean, I know enough to be dangerous, but it doesn't really excite me. There's a lot more risk to it. Yeah, it's just a different game, and I would rather pass that off to somebody who is truly an expert at it.
Sure.
I'm the first guy to just throw up my hands and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm the wrong guy."
Yeah. For
So-
sure. Yeah. There's nothing like getting yourself in a situation where your overconfidence bites you in the ass.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah. All right. So running strong after a year and a half. Happy with everything.
yeah.
Where do you got some goals? Do you got what's do you got any anything, any insight as to where you want to take the business? Or?
Sure. I'm not shy in saying that I want to open multiple locations. When we sat down and drew up the plan for this, 2 years ago, probably when we started writing it down, we said that we wanted 10 offices. I don't know if 10 is a good number or a bad number, but 10 just was from a geographic standpoint, our opportunity to get into major lake regions of
Sure.
This is a vacation hotspot and that's a vacation hotspot.
Sure.
Again, we can only be experts in certain markets, and I personally am not an expert in Detroit Lakes, but I know that there are Detroit Lakes experts.
Sure.
So I just want to get an office there to offer the same services that we have here, the same story,
Yep.
but I wouldn't be the guy out there. It
Sure.
would be somebody local, grew up there,
Yep.
knows the market, and can take care of people. So
Yeah.
So yeah,
Cool.
having 10 offices is a long-term goal. First, we got to get 2, and I think that's probably in the next, say, 2 years, we'll have our second office,
Nice.
and from there we'll see where it goes. But
Where's the first region you're looking at hitting? Someplace relatively close that you can run there in the day if you need to.
I'd love to. I'd love to be downtown Walker. I think Walker is an awesome town. Portage Brewery is like, I don't know. I think any town that has a brewery is going to survive.
Yeah.
But I think they've done an awesome job of just helping that town come back to life. Problem with Walker is there's already 4 real estate agencies that are right downtown.
Yeah.
I'm also a firm believer that you need to be in a walkable community. You don't want a big corporate setting with cubicles. You know, come drive and see me.
Yeah.
I just want to be on the streets with the rest of the community. So
Yep.
Walker is a goal, but it's also going to be tough because then we'd be the 5th or the 6th or the 10th by the time we get there, whoever it is. But
right. Well, maybe
no,
things will
towns
shrink
like
by
that.
the time then.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll get oversaturated and a couple of them will fold.
Yep.
You never know.
We'll see. But a town like Walker, a town like Nisswa, where people come to town to see the local scene and they walk around.
Yeah, it feels like a small town, but
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Those are what we want to be in.
Okay.
So,
Cool. Anything else you want to talk about at all? Baseball's starting in what, 40 days, something like that?
I think it's even less. Yeah, it's coming up quick.
Oh, do you think we got a chance for anything?
I'm a Minnesota sports fan, so I never say yes.
I do not pay attention to baseball until it starts.
Until the season starts?
Yeah, because otherwise it just gets too much. So I don't even know if there's been any great trades or.
Yeah, there's been a couple good trades. We've made some good moves. I think all of our off-season moves have been for the better. So I'm excited to see those come to life.
Is our bullpen finally going to come alive?
There's a few tweaks that we've made. Yeah, I think it'll be good. But all in all, we do this every off-season where we say, this is the year we're doing all the right things and everybody's on a high. And then after your first 4 series and you come out under 500, it's pretty deflating to start off a season like that. But it seems to be our MO. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm just happy because when baseball starts, ice is melting, fishing starts,
I know.
golf course is open. It just it's.
It
I'm
feels
excited
like spring.
I'm excited when winter comes, and I'm just as excited when spring comes. I don't love one over the other. It's just by this time of year, it's like okay, I'm done. Let's
and
move on.
the summer can be a rough grind too. Like I love the heat and I love being busy and everything. But yeah, when Labor Day comes and you like finally have room to breathe, it is kind of like, oh yay, thank God. But by February, I'm like, Yeah, we can get rid of the snow.
let's do it.
Yep, yeah.
Because it's not even fun to look at anymore. It's
No, it's
it's
not.
brown and rock hard. And
Oh yeah, dude. Like I was walking, it was outside my back door. There's probably a snowdrift, probably 4 feet tall, and like I was able to walk across it because it's melted to an ice sheen, and I just couldn't believe it could support my weight, like. And it's still that tall. Like, how much snow did we fucking get this year?
There's a lot.
Oh, it was ridiculous. Yeah. I am very excited for spring. I already put out a spring menu, and now it's like, it literally, like, the day I put out the spring menu, it was like 20 below or whatever. It was like, good timing.
Yeah, wishful thinking.
Good timing.
Wishful thinking.
But, well, all right. Thank you for coming in, brother. We'll have to have you come back in the summertime, and hopefully things will be rolling cool, and you'll have all sorts of neat things to talk about.
Yeah.
And maybe even a new office that you're looking
at.
at.
I think more likely it'll be new agents.
Sure.
Adding more staff and building the team. So
yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see where things go.
Right. All right. Well, thanks again for coming in. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for tuning into the Electric Church Podcast. I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you'd like to listen to more episodes of the Electric Church Podcast, you can hit the subscribe button and the notification bell right over there in the corner of your screen. And I just want to thank you again very much. Thanks to Colton for coming in and doing an episode with us. And take care of each other out there. It's a weird time right now. I recorded this episode like 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago, I suppose. And it's now March 21st, excuse me. And the world's getting a little crazy. So just take care of each other out there and stay informed and try not to get involved in the hysteria. I don't know what to say, people. We're in a very strange time right now. And I hope everybody out there stays safe and their loved ones are safe and we can get through this thing. So, all right, like I said, take care of yourselves and each other.